Hey there, Ankit also this side. In this series, we are going to cover JavaScript from the beginning to the advanced level. In this video, we are going to discuss about the variables. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the code. Here we are jumped into the Visual Studio Code, and I had created a folder JS also. Let's create a new folder basic because we are dealing with the basic part. That's it. And here I'm gonna define one file which is to be like variables because we are going to discuss about the variables in this video. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so what is variable? Variables are nothing but just to be like a container that will contain the value, that will hold the value. Okay, let's say name and it contains a value. Okay. Here I have defined a name which is going to contain the value Ankit. And why it is striking, I would like to tell you this also. It is striking because there are certain rules in the JavaScript that we have to follow. For defining a variable, we have to use some keywords like let, const, where. So these are the keywords which we have to use. But now if I'm gonna like console.log it, console.log name, it will print the value on here. But what is console.log and what is this? See, we are gonna discuss about all those things. In this video, particularly we are discussing about the variables, but yeah. Console.log, you can say it is a kind of function which is going to print the value into the console. So how we are going to do this thing? See, for doing this thing, you have to install or download Node in your PC or the computer. If you have not, then it's totally fine. You can do this by running this file into the browser also. But I will recommend you to download the Node because it's gonna be like useful into the future also when we are discuss about the React or something like that. So here I had downloaded a node and I'm using it. Node, and what is the folder? It is basic. In basic, the file is variables.js which we have to run. And here you can see the value is printed Ankit. Totally fine, totally good. But it's not a good practice and we have to use some keyword. So in JavaScript there are certain keywords which is to be like let and const and where. So how we have to do this? See, firstly we have to understand what is let. So let is a local scope variable. So I'm typing it. Let is basically used for declaring the variable into the local scope. Okay, so yeah, it will define the variable into the local scope. How it's going to run? Let's see. Let name equals to okay, and now you see the error or the striking the thing is gone. And here you can see one more thing which is like name is to be string, but we have not defined it. How the thing is gonna be work like and how it got to know that it's kind of contain the value string. So yeah, JavaScript is a dynamically typed language. Here we do not have to define the variables. It will define the variables itself. It will take the data type by itself when we are declaring it. So it is the good thing of the JavaScript. And now let's console.log it to see what is going to be happening. So now you can see it should return the same thing. Okay, no problem. But what is local scope and what is global scope? See, let and var is the same thing. Var is also used for declaring the variables. It is also used for declaring the variables. But the only difference is var is used for declaring the variables in the global scope. In the global scope. So what is global scope? See, global scope means if we have declared a variable in the screen or something somewhere into the code, then it will be like global for all those things. What is local scope? Firstly, I have to tell you this. See, whatever is going to be contained into the brackets, in the curly brackets, it's going to be considered as the local scope. If I'm going to say here, I want names to be like, I have to define it because, yeah, that name is to be like
Harshit. So here the name is Ankit and here the name is Harshit, but it will not change the name which is we have declared into the global scope. Here, if you want to check it, you can console.log. Let console.log it, and it should print Ankit on both sides because the thing which is returned that the name is Ankit it inside the local scope, which does not have the access here, right? Let's run it, and here you can see it both returning Ankit. But what if we done this thing? We have done this thing with the where keyword. So let's say where name is equals to, now let's say I'm taking Sharma, whatever you think. And in the curly braces, I would like to have this name to be like where names to be like we can think of anything. I'm writing a push, whatever you think. And if I'm gonna like console.log, okay, what we are assume that it should return Sharma because we have declared it into the global scope, but it will not happen. It will return Ankush because let's see, it will return Ankush because it is global scope. Whatever it's gonna be returned, it will directly manipulate to the thing which is in the global scope or which is in the outer scope. So it is not the good practice, and I will also recommend you to not use where because it will mismatch or misspell the things. So if we want something to be like into the global scope or into the function only, but it will directly change the variables or modify the things in the global scope also. So that's why we don't use where, and I also recommend you that please do not use where. Use let for declaring the variable. Okay, we get to know about let and where. Let is used for the declaration of variable in the local scope. Yeah, that's okay. And where is also used for declaring the variables, but in the global scope. That's okay. That's fine. But what is const? See, const is similar to the let thing, but there was one difference. It is used for declaring. It is used for declaring the constant value. In the local scope. Yeah, it does also work in the local scope. So where is the thing which is work on the global scope and it is used for declaring the variable. Okay, but const is used for declaring the constant variable. Sorry for this. Const is used for declaring the constant variable or value in the local scope. Let's see. If I'm going to say const name and Ankit, and if I try to modify it like Harshit, so I'm expecting an error because we cannot declare the value with the const again. We cannot redeclare it, and here you can see assignment to the constant variable, which we cannot do. So I hope so you understand. But if I'm gonna like take it on the log also, now it will not throw any error because it is not modifying the thing. So constant variables are the things which cannot be modified. Here you can see in here. So that's pretty bit about the let, const, var and what is variable. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching this video. And yeah, there's one more thing, like what is hosting and what is gonna be happen, what is the things that happens with the let, var and const, how hosting happens, what is undefined. These are also gonna be discussed in the later video. But to be very honest, in this video we have discussed about the variables. What are variables? They are just nothing but a container which will gonna contain the value. There are three ways to declare the variables in the JavaScript. What are the let, var and const? Okay, what is the difference between it? Let is basically used for declaring the variable into the local scope. Okay, var is also used for declaring the variables but in the global scope. Const is used for declaring the constant value in the local scope. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.